Hey everyone, what's up? I'm Robert. I'm so glad you're here to wrap up our series of all the things we're facing called Happily Ever After and Everything Before. It's all about learning how to navigate the things we're feeling in a healthy way. And while we may not all agree on how comfortable we are with our feelings, or even how to understand or deal with them, I think the one thing we can all agree on is that we all want to be happy. After all, the desire for happiness is hardwired into our world. In our society, happiness is the standard. It's what we're taught to chase. It's what we're told to strive for. The problem may be that we've given ourselves an impossible standard without even realizing it. When we're constantly chasing happiness, we end up on a pursuit that never ends, because no one person can be happy all the time. Let me show you what I mean. Think right now of the happiest person you know. Somebody who always seems to have a positive outlook on life. Somebody who is always smiling. Somebody who really loves their life. Now think about the last time you saw that person in a bad mood, or going through a hard circumstance, or struggling through something painful in their life. Chances are, if you really think about it, you can pinpoint a time that they weren't necessarily happy. No matter what it is, even the happiest people we know have moments when they're just, well, unhappy. Now, here's the next question. When that person, or any person in your life is unhappy, how do you respond? How does their unhappiness impact you? How do you deal with what someone else is feeling? Maybe at first you're concerned. Of course you are. You care about the people in your life, and that means you care about their happiness. But eventually, you might struggle with their unhappiness. Maybe it's because you want to fix it. You want to solve the problem, resolve the issue, fix whatever it is that's making them unhappy. It almost becomes your personal mission to figure out what's wrong so you can make sure that they're happy again. Or maybe it's because their unhappiness is making you unhappy too. While you understand why they're struggling, being around them while they're going through it is also starting to bum you out too. Maybe you're just somebody who's uncomfortable with feelings in general, especially the sad ones. If you're going to feel, you don't want to feel anything other than happy, right? Or maybe you're trying to help them move on because you know how it feels when it's you. Maybe you're sad or low or depressed. You don't like it. You might even feel guilty or shamed that you just can't get over it, which only makes it feel worse. No matter how you respond to your unhappiness or the unhappiness of others, the reality is it proves the point. We're not happy with unhappiness, but 100% of happiness is 100% impossible all of the time. So what do? I think the Bible helps us better understand questions like this. So today, that's where we're going to start. Specifically with a letter written by the Apostle Paul to a church in Rome. Before we dive in, it's important to know that Paul, who was the leader in the church back then, hadn't always been a Christian. Before he started following Jesus, he was definitely familiar with feelings of anger, hatred, and discontent. And after he started following Jesus, Paul experienced fear, sadness, and loss. So either way, as a Christian or not, Paul was still human, navigating the good and bad of life. Becoming a Christian didn't make Paul happy all of the time, and he for sure understood how hard happiness was to achieve. With that in mind, let's take a look at what he wrote. Be happy with those who are happy, and weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with each other. Consider this your cheat code for how to deal with what your loved ones feel. Paul didn't say it's our job to fix the unhappiness of our friends, or force our family members to be happy when they're not, or even distance ourselves from people whose feelings make us uncomfortable. No, Paul was telling us to let the people in our lives feel what they need to feel, to give them the space to navigate their unhappiness and their happiness. And more than that, to stay in it with them while they're feeling it all. The reality is, sometimes people are happy, and when they are, we can be happy with them. But other times, people are sad, and in those moments, we can be sad with them too. The goal isn't to fix it, or avoid it, or feel badly about it. No, the goal is harmony with the people in our lives and the feelings, good and bad, that come with them. Harmony is simply allowing our feelings to be in agreement with someone else's feelings. In other words, it's showing empathy. It's saying, if you're sad, I'm sad that you're sad. And if you're happy, I'm happy that you're happy. Whatever it is, I'm in it with you. I'm not going to change it or avoid it, or try to force you to move on when you're not ready. I'm just going to give you the space that you need to feel what you need to feel, and I'll be there for you while you do. The point? It's our job to give others space to feel. In the movie Inside Out, there's a character, Bing Bong, that pink elephant-looking imaginary friend who experienced all kinds of sadness. He was really down and he was right in the middle of his upset feelings. Another character, Joy, jumped right in to try and make him feel better. She tried to fix the problem. She tried to distract Bing Bong from his feelings. She tried to get him to move on, and while she certainly had good intentions, this really didn't help Bing Bong feel supported or understood. But then we get a look at how empathy works. The character Sadness sat with Bing Bong through his tough feelings. She showed that she understood what he was feeling, and she was sad because he was sad. She didn't rush him or try to fix it, or try to distract him. She didn't downplay his feelings or try to make him laugh. No, all she did was listen and demonstrate empathy and understanding. This is what we can do for the people in our lives who are struggling to find happiness. We can give them the support that they need to get through it. And we don't need to fix it or change it or help them avoid it. All we need to do is show empathy. We didn't just see this in the movie Inside Out or in the scripture we read with Paul. Jesus himself showed this action. Jesus is the person who cried alongside his friends when their brother died. Jesus is the one who let children who were commonly ignored in that time come to him just the way they were. Jesus was patient when his closest friends felt confused about life and how best to follow God. Jesus got angry with systems that weren't right and when people weren't treated with compassion. In every interaction, Jesus showed us that the goal isn't to help other people reach some level of happiness. Rather, it's to support and have empathy for the people in our lives and to be exactly who they are and feel exactly what they need to feel. Like Jesus, we can give others space to feel. And the best part, when you do that, when you give others the space to feel, you're doing more than just being a good friend. You're showing them God's love in action. And trust me, that's powerful. So a lot of people might not know this, but my mom passed away about 7 years ago. And yeah, it was a rough time. But the people in my church, my best friends, my family, they all really rallied around me and made me feel like I wasn't alone in what I was feeling. Sometimes it still hurts, but when I talk about it, I have people that care about me and let me feel through the things that I need to feel. They don't try and brush it aside, and they make it so I have the space that I need to be able to heal and go through what I need to go through. And for me, that's the most important thing that I could ever ask for. See what I mean? A simple act of showing up and supporting me when I felt anything but happiness made a huge impact on me. And it's something you can do, and I can do for others. Here's how I think we can start. 1, show up. When you know someone else is struggling, choose to show up for them. Step into their world, but not to fix it or solve it or make it go away. Show up just to be a person who cares. Show up just to show empathy and let them know that they're not alone. 2, show love. Instead of asking yourself what you can do to help them be happy, ask yourself what you can do to simply show them love. Maybe you show love to a classmate who's stressed about a test by listening to their worries. Maybe you show love to a sibling who's sad by sitting in the room quietly when they feel it all. Maybe you show love to a parent or guardian who's experiencing something difficult by going out of your way just to be kind. Maybe it's just silently praying for the person in need. Whatever it is, consider how you can show a glimpse of God's love to the people who need it in your life. 3, stay with them. Remember, it's not our job to make sure people are magically happy once again, because we can't control that. But what we can do is stay with them in whatever they're feeling, to be with them and stay with them until the feelings change, to give others the space to feel. So, as we close, I want you to keep in mind that this doesn't mean it's your job to deal with all the difficult feelings other people are feeling. Giving them the space to feel doesn't mean taking on the responsibility of other people's emotions. It doesn't mean becoming their therapist or putting down their feelings before your own or keeping secrets from them that could be harmful. Sometimes, the best way to give others space to feel is to ask for the help of a trusted adult in your life. So, if you have someone in your life who is really hurting right now, I want to encourage you to talk to your small group leader about it. They're there to support and love you through your feelings and to help you to find healthy ways to do the same for others. When you head to groups, I want you to think about this question. What's one way I can show God's love to someone who's hurting in my life?